Hello, friends. So, YouTube says we are live. One moment here. Okay. Hello. It's been a crazy week. So, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Hello, Rhonda. If you are joining me on the live, I appreciate it. If you're joining me on the recording, I also appreciate it very much. I hope you guys enjoy the classes that I do every Thursday, and I hope that you're making stuff with them, that they're inspiring you to make stuff. So let me show you the first card that we're going to make tonight. Works with this paper pack, Gnomes for Autumn. It is super cute, and I have it cut for another project. So I actually made this first card from scraps, and these first two cards use almost identical sizes. So I think it's kind of fun because you get two completely looking cards. So rotation and papers change a card so much, and layouts too. So Gnomes for Autumn, it is available until the end of next month, and it is a paper pack and sticker sheet. There is coordinating cardstock. There are 2 different stamp sets, and then there is a gnome thin cut as well. We are not going to be using this little lady tonight, but I wanted to show you, this is the thin cuts that you get. Let me take this out. So you can see it's done with 2 different papers there. There is stitching on the hat and on the shirt or dress, whatever you'd like to deem it. The flower and the center are separate, the boots are separate, the hair is separate, the stem is separate, the hat and shirt are both separate, but then you also have the base layer, and the hands and the nose. So everything, you have one solid that you can build on, and then everything else you have different pieces so that you can cut them out of different colors. So I think that is super fantastic. So yeah, I think it's super awesome. So I do not have the set yet, but this would be good. A big time thanks. You can use that all year round. All right. I haven't introduced myself. Hello, thank you for being here. I said that part already. My name is Michelle. I'm with Crafters Northwest, and I use close to my heart products in my classes. I do bring in some things like string, because we don't have any fibers in our books anymore, and this string I just got it from the grocery store. It's kitchen twine, and so it's a little bit thicker than what we normally have, but it's something you can get it everywhere pretty much. So let's start. This first card, we are going to use the Good Life card making stamp set. It does not come with thin cuts, and you get one image and multiple sentiments, and yeah, for a variety of different things. So let me show you. Now, this is not the card we're making tonight because I thought you guys might think that the coloring might take a little bit too long. I wanted to show it to you. So my coloring is not super fancy, right? It's not fancy, I promise. And I use the new colored pencils that we carry. I used the Natural Landscape, and I used these 5: Flint Gray, Sky Blue, Dark Timber, Woodland Green, and I think Moss Green is the other one that you can't see. We have 3 different packages. These are colored pencils. They are not watercolor pencils, but they were super fun to use. So the papers on this one are the mix-in paper packet. But this is the card we are making. Alright, I let him out so he will be quiet. So next to each other, they look like similar cards, right? But they also kind of look different, I think. But anyway, so this is the card we are making today. I just wanted to show you this other card as well to show you another option. So, and believe it or not, that is the only stamp that we are using for this particular card. So we have pieces. Let me get to all of these pieces. And on the next card, I'm going to show you kind of the theory behind all of this. So I don't have any envelopes to do tonight. They would be simple. Ideally, I would probably do one of the papers on the flaps like you've seen me do. Simply because this is the only stamping that we did on this card. On this card that we're doing. This one we did the river, and so you could do that on the flap if you wanted to, and you wouldn't even have to color it, but you could. Oh, I want to point out, I wanted to try out the no line coloring, which is what this is called, and so I stamped in linen ink. So even when I was coloring it, it was really hard for me to see. So I know it wouldn't show up on camera. But that's how I got the look that I did. So if I had stamped in a black or any other color that showed up better, then you would see the lines around the different things. Okay. So we have a card base envelope, which I already said we're not doing. We have 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside. We have, let's put some like pieces with like here. 1/2 inch by whatever the paper was, so that'll be trimmed down for the inside. We have another 4 by 5 1/4 espresso for the front. More of that mix in, which is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And then turn things the right way. This piece, look at, he's right there, he's going to get covered up. So we might do this side just to show a different side. But this is 3 3/4 by 3 1/4. And this is 1/8 inch bigger. So it is 3 7/8 by 3 3 1/4, 3 3/8. Goodness, I didn't write them down. I apologize. This is 2 by 5 1/4, and this is 2 1/8 by 5 1/4. This one is 3/4 inch by 2 1/4, I believe. And then this one would be 7/8 by 2 3/8. Okay, so the hardest part is the cutting, and it's not even very hard. So let's glue some things together so we can get started. Actually, let's stamp first so that we can get that dried. I did stamp in black, but I think I'm going to grab my espresso ink and do that instead. Perfect. Can you guys hear the birds that just showed up outside? Seems to happen every week. Something comes to make noise every week. All right. Well, before we glue things together, let's breathe. All right. So for our front, we have options because our paper is two-sided, right? You guys know this. We have two options. So we can do this way or this way. It's not lined up very well. This will go over top here, so then we can do this way or this way, which we would of course want to do right side up. And then we have this will go here. And then this will go like this. So I think because of how much of the stuff is covered up, I think we are going to stick with this side of this paper. That bird wanted to make sure you could hear it, so it literally got closer to my door. I think I like that. I think that is better than this. Definitely. All right. We know what we're doing now. So, these Nomi guys, I love them. You know me. I love gnomes. But today is not the day for them. So, could you have bigger borders? Absolutely. Could you have smaller borders? Absolutely. That is up to you. Ooh, I almost just glued that on the wrong side because of how I had it laying. So be careful of that. I did that last week when I was prepping for the class. I put the glue on the wrong side. Thankfully, I was using tape runner so I could slowly peel it off. But it was a tedious process for sure. All right. I'll just center this on here, just like everything else so far. And this piece. I'm going to put it approximately, so the center of it is approximately at a third mark-ish. Oops, it helps if I line it up at the right spot. Okay, for this next piece, what I did is, I don't want this to be popped up at all, but there's also 2 layers of stuff underneath this piece between where I want to glue it down. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take just a scrap of the espresso and I'm just going to glue it on the top. Just like that. Right, that was a piece that was small enough that I was going to throw it away anyway. Right, so it was not going to do any good at all. But now, it will make things a little bit more balanced when I put it on without having to use any cardstock. If you wanted to, you could put a tag end on this. A tag end. Oh my gosh. Well, you could do that too. But I meant a fish tail end. And then I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to do the same thing because we're doing that again here. So I'm going to put it on this end. Just like that. And if you wanted to, you could double it up. I am not going to. And voila, and then you only have that much scrap other than, okay, from the scrap that I pulled over into the screen. You know what I mean. Alright, and then nope, I need more glue than that. This is for the inside. I'll keep that scrap. I'll probably use it as a banner or something. Right, different size scraps of different things qualify for different things, right? I definitely wouldn't throw that away if it was gold glitter paper. And voila, look at that. Our first card is done. It goes together super quick. Super quick. Alright. Now, I'm going to leave one of these here. And then move this. And then I'm going to bring this card in. And these pieces are the same size. Believe it or not, same size. It looks a lot different because A, this has no mats on it, so that makes it look a little bit different. And B, it's rotated. So if I did this, it looks a little bit more similar. But that this is going to be card number 2. So let's do this. So when I was doing this, let me find all the right pieces here. Oh, yeah, I need that. That's an extra piece. Okay, when I was figuring this card out, or rather the first card out, I had an idea from Pinterest, and so I'm just using printer paper, right, to figure out some sizes and whatnot. Right, so actually it was this card I was figuring out first, because my piece is cut for a 4 1/4. Right, so yeah, this is gonna come down here, and this will go kind of like this. And then how big is this gonna be for the sentiment, right? So I have this. And then I saw another card that was very similar, except it was rotated for the most part. So therefore our sentiment changed. And we could leave our banner this way, and it would be the same, or we could move our banner over here like we did on the first card. So that's what I did. So the pieces are the same size, right? It's 3 1/4 by 3 3/4. 2 by originally 5 1/4. This one's going to be 4 1/4. And then your sentiment piece, that'll kind of vary on the size of your sentiment too, right? So I could make it smaller than this. I could make it slightly bigger than this. So that is how I came up with these first 2 cards. So let's do some stamping. So this one is a fairly simple card. And I think I'm gonna do just a couple more things to kind of bump it up a little bit to make it look a little bit better, in my own personal opinion. So we have our pieces. We have our card base. We have our 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside. We have our 3 1/4 by 3 3/4, our 2 by 4 1/4, and 1 by 2 1/2 for our sentiment. So let's do some stamping. We will start there. So first we are going to stamp our background pieces, and this is Design Elements. This is a new stamp set, and we used this guy last week, and so we're using the stars and the wood green or wood pieces, 2x4 style pieces on this card. Alright, bring in my scratch paper that's already well used. Journey ink, the new color of the year. Unbend my cardstock just a little bit, and then we're just going to do some random stamping on here. So I'm going to do this along the side of our inside piece. So instead of having a 1/2 piece like we did on the first card, that was brilliant. 1 second. Okay. So instead of having the 1/2 piece on the inside like we normally do, Now we're just going to stamp some stars. It's a little bit further in, and that's okay. And this would be perfect to do an envelope with. So let's grab one right here. Because of the stamp, I am going to grab a Post-it note and protect the front. Actually, you know what? I'm not, because let's carry some of it over to the front, because I think that will be awesome. My brain is trying to line things up and it's unhappy. So, my apologies. Let's do not nearly as many on this side because that's where our stamp goes. Okay. So now our envelope has stars on the front and the back. Then we are going to grab a single star, and this one's actually from Home for Christmas card making, just the star there. Just one single star to add a slightly larger star in here. And then we'll do that on all the things. We don't need a ton of them, just a few. Alright, and then we have our card base itself. And we're going to take just the single image star and we're going to stamp that a few times. How many is up to you. You can do it so it's densely stamped or lightweight. So the first one I did kind of lightweight. The second one I'm going to do a little bit more densely. Okay. And then on this piece, I'm going to just do the edges, and I'm just straight as a T along the edges. I just want all the edges to be blue, so I'm making sure there's no white gaps on there. And then that will just help it pop up a little bit more. Okay. And then, so we're done with the journey color. Then we have our mocha. And when I stamped this originally, oh, how well you can see it. I have them zigzagged along the top, but you don't see very much of them. And so I think I'm going to not zigzag. I'm going to fully cover top to bottom. And I'm going to go horizontal instead of vertical. That may not be very straight along top, but that's okay. I think it's not too bad. I just realized why my brain has problems with this one. Literally just realized. If you look here at what I just stamped, there we go. This piece and this piece have lines, literally, in this case going up and down, but this piece and this piece do not. If we go to the other end of this piece, there is that line. And you can't see that one because it's off. No line, line. No line, line. That's why my brain is unhappy with the other one, because there's no lines on these ones, because you're meant to be able to stamp them back to back and not have to worry about creating a double line right there. So now that I have figured that out, let's see. Okay. And these line up. If you're patient enough or good enough. Not too shabby. I should probably kind of keep on that idea there. Alright, line these up, excuse my head. Oh, there's a gap in that one. That's okay. Okay, so I should be able to leave that and not have to worry about it. If I need to, I can come back in and add that in. Alright. Our sentiment is thank you, which comes from the occasional wreath. So I'm using the thank you. You could do any of these. Of course, you can always do any of them. Okay. And then again, I'm going to go through and do some of this edging here. Maybe a little bit more. Slight little edge there. trying to decide if I wanted something on here even more, but no, I think no. I think I am going to edge it though, like I did the other pieces. And if I don't like it, it's easy enough to change real quick. Okay. So let's move all of these out of the way. And assemble. Alright, this one takes more time. It'll probably end up taking an equal amount of time. The other one you have more time in the cutting, and this one you have more time in the stamping. You can easily do this with pattern papers instead of stamped. That would be perfectly fine as well. Alright, so string. Oh, I just managed to tie this in a knot. So on this one, I wasn't thinking when I fed it through, and I tied the knot over here because I glued it underneath already. But this time I'm going to put the knot on the other side. So that means I need to glue like this. So let's make sure everything works. And I think I'm going to not take it to the edge just so you can see a little bit more of that wood. Perfect. So, like the other one, I'm putting it down at approximately the 1/3 line. And this particular twine, like I said, is kind of thick. So if you wanted to, you could do that cardstock hack that I showed you on the last card. Or you could use foam tape, which we do need to do on the star piece. So because this this twine is thick and it's coming back over itself again, what you don't have to do, you could just cut it and glue at either end. Anyway, this is the easier way to do it, not the save money way to do it. When I put this down, I want to make sure that I have no foam tape right here. Okay, so if I just flip this over like this, when I put these on here, I can see really easily. If you don't think you need to do that, that's fine. Don't do it that way. If you are new to my videos, I use a good amount of foam tape on any project that needs foam tape. So you do not need to use this much. You're welcome to, if that makes you feel better. Give that a little press and then pull off the backends. I think the backings for this particular size come off so much easier than any of the other ones. And I know it should all be the same product, and I don't know why it's any different. Maybe it's just my brain lying to me. Okay, so we're just going to make sure that this is straight. Right, super, super easy. Alright, so we need a couple pieces on the edge for that. Thank you. And some tape across where it's not raised up. You can see just right here, that one little bit that's peeking out. That's okay, because we literally are going to do this. Alright, and then let's see how well I can tie. Well, I'm not tying a bow, I'm just tying a knot, aren't I? So that should make it so much easier. Note the should. This is what happens when your brain is like, is this the way? Is this right? Is this right? Is this right? Okay, and there's card number 2 with a single envelope. Again, I like the overhang in this particular instance. So I think this stands out better than this, so I like this already much better. I like that I edged the side pieces, the sides of all of the pieces. It makes everything pop more, I think. And so I think it makes it look better. So tell me what you think. Edging or no edging? Okay, now card number 3. I do not actually have a sample for you for this one because, like I said at the beginning, the week has been kind of crazy. So, I know what card I want to do. I just don't have anything cut for it. Let me look at it real quick, 1 second. Oh, yes. So we want to use this set and we'll stick with this thank you, and we'll maybe bring this in. Alright, so I have black. Let me grab some green. And what color should we do? Who said Sundance? Because if you said Sundance, ding ding ding, you win. These are my scrap pieces. Not very big, which is fine because we do actually need a bigger piece. So if you are not familiar, our cardstock is two-toned. It is a true color on one side, darker side, and then the lighter side is 10% lighter. Alright, so we are going to cut this to 4 inches. By 5 1/4. And we're going to do that again because I'm going to make a second one. Just because. Alright, we may or may not use that, but we'll see. And then let's actually okay. We'll come to our scrap here and we'll do 3 inches, and I'm cutting on the lighter side this time. We'll see if we can get them both out of this one. Let's see, 4 1/2. So no, we can't get both of them out of one. Nope, 2 of them. 4. Yes. And then let's just trim this piece. This is 3/4, so let's just kind of half it. So essentially 3/8. Oh. And then we'll use these on the inside of our card. I know it's too long, but that's okay. We need some white. So we have 3 by 4, so we need 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. One for each card. And then our 4 by 5 1/4, which I have a stack pre-cut. I actually take them and have it cut for me, so I have a stack of them just ready to go. Okay. That should be all of our cutting that we need to do. I'm going to do another one just in case I mess up. Okay. So we need our large Sundance piece, and actually before we do that, let's stamp our flower so that we can color it. So we want it to dry a little bit first. So this is our piece, and we're going to do it this direction. So let's use this guy right here. I think like that, but I do think that I want to bring in the Misty just to just to make things easy. So this end does not overlap the edges. to move some things out of the way here. I am just going to, I was debating, I'm going to use archival because I'm just going to use the colored pencils. I should have put my sheet underneath, but that's okay. So I'm going to let this dry. I'm going to leave this in here just like this, and I'll show you why in a bit. But I do need this, and I do need this. Alright, so that gets drying. We're going to bring this in and bring in our Sundance after we mount our stamp. I think we're going to use the paint to crackle. I see edging is winning on the vote. I agree. I really do like that one better. Alright, so I've not used this one before, so I'm going to rub it on the back of my hand. And that helps rub off the release. Whatever, the release stuff from when it was made. So the good news is this is kind of a grungy style stamp. So if it does not stamp perfectly, that is just dandy. Alright, so we are doing tone on tone stamping. So we're stamping Sundance ink on Sundance cardstock. And that will give us a kind of fun texture. I know I'm kind of low on my screen here. So I don't need to worry about the middle because that's going to be covered. So I highly recommend when you're doing this to work around to a degree. You want to kind of start here and work, and you can go either direction. But work your way around. You want to stop before you get to the corner so that you can bring this up so you don't have things overlapping. Hopefully that makes sense. Oh, goodness. A little bit of overlapping, especially with this stamp, isn't going to be noticeable, but with some stamps it would be much more noticeable, like the wood that we used in the last one. Alright, so this is the texture that we have on this one. And I need to fix my screen. Okay. Yes, alright. Let's actually do that on our strip too. this for the inside. Now, we do need our sentiment on here. Let's just go ahead and go with the thank you. Let's move some things again. Bring back in our Misty. But we're going to put this at the other end, right? So we can use them. Use it for both. Try to make sure that this is straight-ish. That it's straight, but it's also a stamp set that could be just fine. It's slightly angled up because it kind of looks like it was drawn that way. Again, archival black. It's a nice dark black, which I love. Okay. Let's bring in our pencils. I know I said I wasn't gonna do the pencils for the other one. I think I'm gonna go with the Perfect Portrait, and I'm gonna test it on this white scrap here just to make sure it's the colors that I want. Because I think that this one, yes, just look at how well that goes with that. So pairs so well. So let's come in. And add some color to our flower here. So one of the things that happens with these pencils, so these are just regular wax colored pencils, is that it's going to cover up your stamping to some degree at least. And the more the color, the more it looks more like a peachy color. But I wanted to see if I could show you. Not quite sure if you can tell. Like these ones, you can see that there's the colored pencil on top of the black, which is fine. Doesn't mess with it that much. But that is why we left our stamp in the Misty. Alright, let's do the center of that brown. I wanted to be kind of a perfectionist about this. I would do each individual little seed here. That is not gonna happen. Alright, we need to bring in the other ones because we need some green. And there's no green in this one. Okay, So because I want to do, there's this other flower on here. I don't want to do it blue, so I'm going to come over here to the bright and vivid colors. And that way we have a couple of different greens, because we have a couple different greenery pieces in here. So I'm just gonna kind of color like with like. Right, like with flower arrangements, you don't want everything to be the same color. That makes it kind of boring. And sometimes you have to turn your image around so you can see what should be what color. Okay. Let's do some red berries. I could leave them white, but I'm afraid they might look forgotten. Like I colored all of the image except that, right? And I don't want that. Alright, so while I am not necessarily coloring each petal individually for this flower, some of them I am, obviously, but I'm going to go in the same direction that the petals are going. So the petals are going this way. I'm not going to color this way. I'm going to color this way. Oh, see, I forgot a berry. I think coloring in this fashion to go in the direction of whatever it is you're coloring helps make it look a little bit better. And then I can go through and add some darker spots here and there based on the drawing of the flower. So there's some variance in color. Fix this berry. this back in. And we are going to line it up for our flower down here like we had it. And we're going to stamp it at least one more time. I should have showed you a before and after, and I did not, and I apologize. Now we have a layer of black on top of our color. It makes it look better. It so does. All right, so inside I grabbed already card base. Glue. See, even this one isn't taking very long at all. And if you wanted to, instead of doing stamping, you could do an embossing folder for this piece here, and that would be fun as well. And you can add the stamp to the B&T paper. Like, it would make a fun cracked concrete type look if you used the paper that we used earlier. This will go on here. And we will pop this one up. See, aren't these coming off so easily today? It's kind of crazy. Voila. Card number 3. Super easy. You can make so many of these. Right, if you had 2 sheets of cardstock, you could make 6, 7, 8. About 8 without actually mapping it out. Cards out of 2 sheets of paper. That's not bad. And it's so pretty. So pretty. Alright, so no envelope for this one, but you could do just the stamp on the flap, or you could do a piece of the saffron cardstock with the stamping on the back. That would be super cute too. So, card 2 with the envelope, and card number 1. So, those are our cards for tonight. So these are all the same design, the same base pieces. These ones have the matting and these ones do not. And then this one, which is also super easy. So I want to thank you all so much for joining me with the video, either live or on recorded. I really appreciate you guys showing up. And if you like this, if you could give it a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. And share it with your crafty friends. So thank you so very much. And on that note, I will see you guys next week. Have a great day. Bye.